And then at the end, I then upload it onto YouTube, and I upload the session onto Arcan so you can watch it at a later stage. Okay, so let me share my screen, please. If you cannot, if I disappear with the mic, let me know in the chat, and then I can see what's happening. I see my signal's not so great today. I think that is because we've had so much gale force wind, and there's so much storm or damage from the wind. A lot of the networks have been struggling, hey? So that's not good. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen. Yes, cool. Okay, so I am going to log into Arcan. Okay, to make life easier for me, I just copy and paste the website onto my desktop home screen so I can go straight in there. Okay, so you're going to log into Arcan. And then what is that? That's not right. Hey, why is it not logging into Arcan? Let's see what's happening here. Log out. Okay, there it is. Okay. Okay. So you log into Arcan, and then, okay, I don't know what that is, but anyway, you click on your course for project management. Okay, and this is going to be what you see on your Arcan when you open it. Okay, we have our announcements. Here I'm going to post information. You guys are more than welcome to also create discussions for help to help each other. You can see here I've posted a discussion just so you have the contact details for the relevant parties and departments at Arcan. I mean Arc Academy, sorry. So go and have a read at that, okay, the announcements. Now, yours isn't going to look identical to this, okay, because this is a lecturer's view. Yours is going to only have the things that we've made visible. You're not going to see the rest of the chapters for now. You only actually have chapter 1 available to you at the moment. So we're going to start in the course schedule, okay. You click on it, you just keep clicking until it gets there. It's going to open up as a PDF. So you can see we will be doing 12 units, okay? And these 12 units for project management are going to be broken down into weeks, 12 weeks. And in those 12 weeks, we have to-do lists for you to do, just to ensure that you are grasping the content and preparing you for your assessments. Okay, so this is your schedule. This is what we're going according to on your orientation, which was obviously last week. Okay, now this week we are on the 8th of August and we're going to call it week 1. Okay, and week 1 is focusing on chapter 1. So as you can see, each week going forward focuses on a specific chapter and what you can do to obviously understand and review additional material for that chapter. So even here you see number 4 says online class via Teams, and that is what we are doing today. So you can see here, this course is going to be made up of 3 assessments, okay? 2 formative assessments and 1 summative assessment, okay? So the first formative assessment, the 14th of September, and your second assessment is due on the 19th of October. So there's a month. And this is going to show you what units it will focus on. So obviously, your first formative assessment focuses on units 1 to 6, and your second formative assessment is going to focus on units 7 to 12. And at the end, on the 16th of November, you're going to write a summative assessment covering all the units from 1 to 6. Okay. Now, this is the course schedule, the outline of what you will be doing in this project management. So for each week, if you click on the weekly to-do list, you're going to see there is a to-do list for each week based on the course schedule. So for week 1, you click on it, and it's going to download. Let me go to my downloads, week 1. And it's just going to basically give you a breakdown of the content and the resources for you to follow to gain an understanding of chapter 1 for week 1. So every week you need to ensure you follow the weekly to-do lists to ensure that you are on top of things and grasping the content to be able to write your formative and summative assessments. Where is this document? Should be opening there. All right, so you can see here week 1, all right, and then it's going to tell you your outcomes and so forth. Okay, here we go. It's just a 1-page document for you to read and follow for each week. Okay, so is I can. Okay, so everything that I'm going to share with you during our live sessions, it's always going to go onto ICANN for you to review. Okay, so make sure you click on chapter 1 and you go through all of the information here for you to do. Okay, so to start off this lesson, I'm going to play you a video. This is where you can find the video on ICANN. It is the first file, but I am going to play the video from my laptop for you. Okay, and then we will do unit 1. Okay, I see there's no questions yet. Okay, no questions yet. Cool. Okay, so let me play the video. I hope it I hope you can hear it. I think you should be able to. Okay, let's play.
Everywhere you look, projects are underway. Whether you're recruiting a new member of staff or constructing the world's tallest building, every project needs a manager to ensure its success. Someone with their eye on every detail at every stage, from inception to completion. Put simply, project management is about getting things done. It's about knowing exactly what you want to achieve, how are you going to achieve it, and how long it will take. It's about ensuring that everyone involved shares and understands those aims before the first steps are taken, and that they continue to as the end of the project, whatever it is, draws closer. Because successful projects don't just happen. They're not just a long list of jobs to be done. They're a masterpiece of planning, management, organization and communication, a carefully choreographed sequence of events where progress is smooth and steady. One step leads seamlessly to the next, and every possible hitch has been considered and counted. A successful project needs people with the right skills and knowledge at its heart. Working together, a well-managed, motivated team with clear roles, responsibilities and reporting lines will carry a project to its conclusion without compromising on time, cost or quality. Project management is a wonderful thing, but it's easy to forget how the world might look without it. Because at its best, project management is virtually invisible. It's the absence of problems and the prevention of failure. But behind every successful project, whether it's changing the way a company works or the organization of an important event, there's an unsung hero, the project manager, who kept everyone with the desired result. At APM, we support project managers in all the amazing work they do every day.
Okay. Okay, so that was chapter 1 intro video. All right, that video is on ICANN for you to review if you had any technical issues hearing or seeing it right now. So let me open the PowerPoint presentation for Unit 1. Okay. Okay. So on that video, let me go. Okay. Chapter 1 is the introduction to project management environment. Okay. So at the end of this unit, you should be able to define the term project management, and understand the history. Okay. So based on the project manager Your line is very bad. It also might be your line as well, because it all seems to be working on my side. Okay. Because my connection is saying 100%. Okay. So let me continue. Okay, so project management. Okay, so based on that video we just watched, a project cannot be successful if it does not have a project manager in place. A project manager is someone who is going to lead and control and ensure that the project is carried out according to perhaps the bill of quantities, meets the correct specifications, and is done in a safe and quality manner. Okay, so what is a project? Now, the definition of a project comes from the PMBOK. Now, a PMBOK means Project Book Knowledge. Okay, and this is something that is contemplated, devised, or planned. A large or major undertaking, especially one involving considerable money, personnel, and equipment for a specific task of investigation. So a project is, for example, can be the construction of a new hotel. All right, and you will then have a project manager dedicated to ensuring that the project is carried out accordingly. Okay, so the project definition comes from the PMBOK. Remember that. All right. Okay, so what is a project? Again, here is your definition: is to undertake and carry out a specific task, for example, complete a hotel. Okay. The characteristics of a project: it needs to have a start date and an end date. Okay, we don't start a project with a specific start date in mind and we have no end date. A project needs to have a time frame. For example, if you're going to be building a hotel, your project must perhaps start on the 1st of October 2023 and perhaps end date to include the 1st of October 2024. Maybe it's going to take 1 year to construct that hotel. So it needs to have a start and an end date. Okay, it cannot be a continuous, never-ending project. Okay, once the end point is reached, the project is over. Okay, so when you finish that date, the 1st of October 2024, your project will be done. Okay, and it is attempting to achieve something new. So when a project is put in place, for example, wanting to achieve something new, here we are constructing or building a new hotel. Okay, so projects are pre-thought. We don't just have a project manager coming up with the project plan. We actually have strategic personnel, top managers, directors, shareholders deciding what needs to take place for a specific company. Perhaps, for example, let's use the Hilton hotel group. Perhaps the engineer that's part of that team decides that the hotel on there needs to be a hotel built on an island. So the strategic team, for the managers, the directors, and shareholders, they are going to decide on the strategic direction of that hotel building, what it needs to look like, the design. The engineers are then going to design it and so forth. It's going to go out for tender to see which companies are going to actually win the tender to build this hotel, and then the project manager comes into play. It starts, meets the specific requirements, and ends accordingly. Okay, so it is a pre-thought plan. All right. It will always have a different outcome. Each project that companies carry out are unique to their own activities. For example, building a hotel, constructing a road, all right, doing electrical streetlight maintenance. All right, they all have unique characteristics and are carried out differently. Okay. So here are the characteristics involved, right, in project management. There's resource allocation, okay. When we talk about resource allocation, it's the materials and equipment, okay. Where are they going to get that from? All right, it could even refer to the human resources, such as the skills. All right, the labor, who's going to be doing what? From top, middle, and lower level management, okay. The quality, who's going to do quality assurance? What risks are they going to be exposed to? Who's going to be working in what teams? Okay, there are different characteristics. Okay, there also needs to be a specific role for the project manager and what they are going to be doing going through the project. And it all starts with the construction program, which we'll talk about at a later stage in our unit. The construction program is going to indicate how many weeks the project is going to take, what activity is going to be executed within specific weeks, similar to this course. Remember, I said there are specific things to do each week to ensure at the end date you are successful in completing your assessment. Same rule applies to project management. You're going to have a construction program. It's going to have start dates, an end date, and it's going to have weeks in between with what activities need to be carried out for each week to meet the target end date. Okay. So why do we get the definition from the Project Management Book of Knowledge? It is to identify the recurring elements for project management process. Okay, from this, organizations and companies can benchmark and practice as per organizational fit. Okay, so however your project is going to be carried out, your company will then implement and follow the Project Management Book of Knowledge for their project manager. Okay. And as it says here, it includes proven traditional practices. So we want to follow the Project Management Book of Knowledge because it has practices and strategies in place that are already successful. So we then want to follow these guidelines in our companies to ensure we can have a successful project to be completed. Okay, this is very important for a project manager. All right, to follow throughout the project is the PMBOK. Okay, so project management has evolved over time to become a specialist discipline. All right, so a lot of people are now following project management as a profession. Why? Because companies usually subcontract, okay, a project manager. Why would they want to subcontract someone to be a project manager? Because when companies decide to conduct a activity, for example, building a hotel, they're not just going to have a project manager sitting in the organization, because they only focus on specific activities. We're not, unless you are a full-time building company, you will have a full-time project manager. Otherwise, you can subcontract a project manager to carry out your project successfully for you. Then at the end of the project, they will then be released and relieved of their duties. All right. So being a professional project manager is the largest professional body. PMI has its head office, and a large proportion of its membership is in the USA. So what does that tell us? The America, obviously there's a lot of construction, and there is lots of opportunities for project managers in America. Not only America, it is also very sought after here in South Africa and Australia. And there you can be a project manager, or you can be an assistant project manager, okay, depending on the project at hand. Okay, so for all project managers, they all need to follow the PMBOK to ensure that they follow successful strategies. All right, perhaps you can even contribute in adding to the successful strategies that you are executing in your projects at hand. Okay, so your project life cycle, what does it include? Okay, we're also going to go into detail in this at a later stage in your units. The project life cycle includes your initiation, the planning, execution, and the closure. Okay, when we talk about initiation, this means that the top management or board of directors have decided, okay, we've done our market research, we put our strategies in place, we want to build a new hotel. Okay, then the planning comes into place. What is the hotel going to look like? Okay, here maybe we need architects and engineers to design it for us. Who's going to tender, and who's going to actually get the job at the end of the day to build the hotel? What construction company? Okay, the planning process can also include who's going to be the appointed project manager for the hotel construction. Okay, execution is obviously following your construction program and building the hotel, while at the end, the closure is the finishing up of the hotel. Okay, you'll have your end date, then the hotel construction with the quality assurance employees, top management, and the project manager. At the closure point, they are going to do a site walk. They're going to take notes, identify maybe what needs to be changed, and from there a snag list can be created for the construction company to perhaps touch up one or two things, or fix a wall that may have been scratched during housekeeping and removal of equipment. Okay, once the top management are 100% happy, the project is then closed and the hotel can open for business. Okay, so at the end of the day, the project manager needs to not only ensure they follow a time frame from the start to the end of the project, okay, they need to ensure that the correct scope is followed based on what the engineers have identified, perhaps in the bill of quantities, and they need to ensure that they execute the project as cost effective as possible to ensure the project comes out quality. Okay, you don't want to, as a project manager, save the company that's hired you maybe 50,000 Rand, but now you've used cheap material that is going to hamper the quality at the end of the day, which might actually extend your time frame if the quality is not sufficient. So it is so important to ensure that the scope, the activity that you're carrying out, follow a specific time frame, but using the correct materials and equipment and contractors that are going to still use a outcome or hotel. All right. The project manager has to follow a budget. It is very important. This will come obviously from the project life cycle, where top management is going to say, okay, so this project to build the hotels perhaps is going to be 2 million Rand. The project manager has to ensure they follow the budget accordingly. Okay. Of the 2 million Rand. Okay, let me just move my thing there. So role players in a project and their function. So who's involved in a project other than the project manager? All right, so this can be your sponsors or funders. Okay, here it can be if it's a organization such as the Hilton Hotel Group, they will be the people funding it. Okay, perhaps you're going to be including your community leaders based on where the project is going to be executed, and you want to include some communities, laborers or day-to-day managers to uplift the community. Okay, maybe it's the consumers that we're going to be in contact with, and so forth. The government and your competitors, depending on what activity or project you're going to be carrying out. Okay, so it's not just the project manager that is going to execute and follow through the project. There are lots of stakeholders involved. Okay, starting from the top all the way to the bottom, and your competitors. Okay, the government plays a big role. Why? Because the government might pass legislation or regulations that might have a negative or a positive impact on your project, and that always comes into play when we talk about health and safety. Okay, and that is the end, a nice little background on Unit 1. Okay, project management. Okay, so questions on what project management is, any questions regarding the course content, we can do a 10-minute Q&A. You can type your questions out in the chat here, and I will respond to them. Guys, my internet is perfectly fine on my side. My fiber is working 100% now. If you are experiencing technical difficulties, please check your line as well. Okay, I'm triple checking mine all the time, and it is working fine. Okay, I do apologize that you are experiencing some problems, but at least this is recorded for you to review later. Okay, any questions regarding the content or this chapter? You're also more than welcome to email me once you've gone through Arcan and looked at your to-do list on Arcan. Remember, you must follow the activities on Arcan. Please, please, please. Okay, let me just share my screen again. Okay, you need to follow the activities here. So if once I've clicked on my chapter 1, okay, this is that video I played at the beginning. Okay, this is the video the information from your textbook, okay? Some slides. Okay, extra resources. Okay, go down to your activity and then do your activity based on the work for week 1. If you have a hand up, please can you type out your question? Okay, or I can maybe unmute you. Let me just unmute you and you can you can ask your question. Okay. Yes. I've unmuted you. You may ask your question. You've got your hand up. Okay, your hand's down. All right, cool. That's fine. Okay, you want to ask a question?
Oh, yes. Can I ask, please?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to know, is it possible to say maybe use the PM book along the agile and that other one, say maybe mix them up to, I don't know, how should I put this? Say maybe you're starting up a project, but you see that using the PM book, you can't really like get the required results. Is it possible to use maybe like the PM book using it along with the agile? Is it possible?
Yes, yes, that is.
Okay.
Okay, next question. Does anyone else have a question? No other questions. Okay, so make sure you go through your content on ICANN, and then we will have our next live session. When is that? Let me check here. Our next live session will be, let me just open here. Our next live session will be at the end of the month on the 29th of August. So by that session at the end of the month, you should have completed weeks 1 to 3 and starting on week 4. Okay, so you must follow the week to-do list and not only rely on the sessions. Okay, the sessions are just an additional resource for you to also and create a platform for you to ask questions if you are stuck. But you need to, this is a self-online study course. You need to follow the week schedules in your own time to ensure that you meet the required formative and summative assessment dates. Okay. I don't have a question. I have a okay, so you're saying that the videos cannot be downloaded on ICANN. Let me double check. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so let's go into the first video. A lot of the stuff is online, so you can't actually. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, you can't actually. Oh, there. Okay, so what I did was you can download it. What I did was I pressed play and then I right clicked. Okay, and then gives you the option to download the video. So just play on your device, obviously depending on what device you're using. I'm using a laptop. I pressed play on the video and I right-clicked on the video and it's given me the option to download. Let's see if it's downloading. Yes, you see, it is downloading. So you do, okay. Yes, great, you can download. So make sure obviously each device is different. Just maybe do a Google if you cannot get it right. Okay, but that is how you can download. Okay, guys, enjoy your evening. Tomorrow's a public holiday and please make sure you follow the instructions on ICANN. ICANN is your home. Okay. Have a great Tuesday evening.